Hey, podcast listener, you're listening to the Basketball to Business Media Podcast, where we help basketball player developers increase their sales, build awareness, and scale their training business. If you like to learn more about what we do and take action towards getting more clients, check us out at www.basketballtobusiness.com. Now, here's your host, my son Jones.
Hey guys, just wanted to jump on a quick podcast here. If you're fairly new to it, this often I'll have episodes that are super colloquial, that are not edited, that are just me rambling on, and I'm a word nerd, so the word is loquacious, meaning I just talk a lot and I rant on, and I think it's super relevant to make an episode right now for the basketball player developers after this election day. And to be frank, I mean, I wasn't for Trump, I wasn't for Hillary. If anything, I was more so for Gary Johnson, to be completely honest. But I think the emotions have faded away for me, and I can really step back, and upon reading other people's articles and really observing what really happened last night, I think there's some valuable information that everybody who owns a business, every basketball player developer can gather from President Trump, which is going to be tough for me to catch on to, but I mean, that's his title now. He's President Trump. But I'm in sales, and I love sales, and I recognize another salesman, and this guy, the president, sold his way into the White House. I mean, he sold his way into other stuff too, like the Miss USA pageant. He was a TV star on The Apprentice. He sold casinos. He's an owner of those. He's obviously a real estate guy too. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff people don't like. I don't like. He has no tact whatsoever, no tact at all. But a couple of his traits have gotten him into the position that he is right now. He's going into the biggest sales role he's ever had, and he's going to obviously have to deliver. I mean, I don't think anybody really knows his policies in detail and really fully, but I mean, who knows? He's going to have to deliver. He made the sale. Now he has to deliver. So we'll be seeing if he does deliver for the next 4 years. But the biggest thing I wanted to jump on this podcast was, the biggest reason was to share 3 things that I noticed and that I've seen from other people and their observations that we can all take from President Trump's victory last night. And the first thing is honesty. I mean, this dude is blunt. He says how he feels, and he doesn't hold it back. And honestly, he just says a lot of stuff that we probably think inside our minds, inside our hearts. He just says it without thinking twice about it, which is not wise. But again, he does it, and that's helped him out. He's honest about everything. He's blunt about everything. He's crass almost, in a sense. And people respect that. I mean, I can respect that. I know where he stands. I know it comes off as genuine in the sense of this is how he really feels. For the basketball trainers and the player developers, for you, it's the same thing. Like on social media, if you're posting a picture with an NBA player or a high school player, can you honestly say that you train those guys on a regular basis? Do those guys claim you as their personal trainer, as their trainer that they go to? I know a lot of basketball player developers, and I get it. I would want to do the same thing, but you claim something that is not really true. Like, you might work out with them one time, but that's not a reoccurring thing, right? So one thing is authenticity. Like, how authentic are you too? And that's what I believe is episode 2. Stacey Scott. I mean, I'm gonna have to get him back on again, but the man is all about authenticity. Like, he tells you how it is, and he does it in a super tactful and gentle way. He's probably one of the few guys who manages those two. It's a big dichotomy, like being honest and blunt, but also being gentle about it too. And that's something I respect in him. Now, President Trump is not that way, but the point is to get the honesty, to see that authenticity is respected by people and that it does work. Another way to figure out if you're being honest as a player developer too is, do you claim a kid's results? Like, do you say, yeah, we got this kid better, we got him on this level, Do you claim that, or do you give the kid credit for his hard work? How do you frame that? How do you go by representing that when you have a client and you work with them? So first thing that we can get from President Trump, I think, is honesty, is brutal honesty about that, and which I can respect, which I'm going to probably try to apply today, tonight, tomorrow. Second thing that this sales guy, and let me say this, let me pause with this too. I was talking to a guy in my mastermind, and he made a great point. Like, don't get down about President Trump being the president. At the end of the day, actually two different people said this in two different ways. But at the end of the day, we are masters of our own ships. We're the common denominator. So one elected official is not going to change your entire life. There might be some policies that you have to adjust to within the next 4 years, but he's not going to make the drastic change tomorrow that a lot of people are thinking. And at the end of the day, this guy sold his way into the White House. Like, if he can do that, then you can be financially free. I can be financially free. I can reach my goals, and I can take massive action to get there if this man is the president of the United States. So I think the second thing, back to the point, is President Trump is he's confident, like almost arrogant in the sense. And look, if I had $8 billion too, my net worth was up there. I mean, I might be a little more confident than I am right now too. But I don't think many basketball player developers struggle with this confidence thing. I think a lot of them are former hoopers, and you've always thought that you were the best player, which the old adage is better too much confidence than too little. That's something that I always struggled with and probably hindered my basketball career. But as a player developer, can you confidently explain your process to a parent? Can you explain your drills to a basketball coach who also knows the game, can peep game too? Can you confidently and competently call a basketball coach that you don't know as much and explain why your kid should be at their university? Can you strike a deal for your kid? I mean, those are sales skills involved in those processes. It may be invisible at first, but all that kind of stuff is sales. And can you confidently do that for a kid? If a parent asks you, why are you teaching him how to shoot that way? Why is his form like that? Why do you go through that drill this way? Where did you get your own style from? Can you competently explain your own style and do that in a way that is convincing, that's persuasive, and be confident about it too? And the last thing I think we can all get from President Trump's win is experience. I mean, the guy's been through it all. I mean, he's had personal experiences. He's failed, he's won. But the same with basketball player developers, like either on the court or more importantly with other athletes. Can you demonstrate your results? Can you say that, I've been there, done that. I've worked with players like this, and these are the results that I've gotten for them. And even if you don't have those case studies yet for players that you've worked with, I know this is not as powerful, but if you've been a player yourself formally, if you can talk the game, I think that helps you out in the long run with the parent too. I mean, if you go back to point one, if you're honest, like, okay, no, I haven't worked with this kind of athlete before. No, I haven't done this. First off, there's respect in that. Second off, if you can still talk the game, if you can still say, based on my experience from playing the game of basketball, which again is not as effective as saying I've trained these kids, I've gotten these results. If you can talk the game to a parent and sell them on your experience based on your playing days, even if it's not just your results you've gotten as a trainer, I think that's still powerful in itself, and that gives you something to leverage off of. Because, I mean, trust is only developed off of demonstrated results. And if you don't have them from training a kid for whatever reason, then demonstrate your results on the basketball court and show that you know at least how to communicate and that you've at least done something too. I think there's some value in that. Again, that was it from me. Thanks for listening to the Basketball to Business podcast. This is your first time Thank you for listening. And not every episode is super random and me rambling like this too. Check out episode 000 to get an idea of what this podcast is about. And if you're a basketball player developer trying to, scale your business or to grow your company, check us out at www.hoopsinstitute.com or send me an email at myson, MYSON, at basketball2business.com. And hopefully we can strike a conversation and we can jump on a call to see how I can serve you, how we can get ready to grow your business, and most importantly, start serving some kids who have the potential but just don't even know it themselves yet. Thanks again, guys, for listening, and talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Basketball to Business Media Podcast. If you want to learn more and take the next steps towards growing your business, go to www.basketballtobusiness.com. Like this episode, review us on iTunes, and subscribe to our podcast. We'll catch you on the next show.